I'm Malin, and recently I was having this thought, or for years I've had kind of this thought, like, I can't figure out what I want to do with my life. I don't know what I want to do. I don't know where I want to be. And there's always kind of this idea of, working it out, and, it'll eventually come by. And, in our world, there's so many options, there's so many choices that we can make. There's endless options and opportunities for us. We have the whole world at our fingertips, but sometimes that's like a really daunting thing when you have total freedom and you have too many options. It just causes a lot more stress and anxiety. Like, what are the things that I actually like, and is the grass greener over on the other side? And a quote that I read a while ago was something to the tune of us telling ourselves that we will work out our problems is an excuse for us to never actually have the answer. We're always like, oh, I'll work this out, rather than, it's always like delaying it, rather than actually just accepting, like, maybe life is trying to tell us something. Maybe there's actually something we can learn right now. Life isn't this kind of thing that you work out, or this one answer that kind of solves everything. It's always evolving, it's really fluid. And I guess at times that can be really overwhelming and seem like a really negative thing. But like, that's kind of the beauty of it, without the lows, there wouldn't be any highs. Without that contrast, you wouldn't be able to see it. And I think I felt so hell-bent on trying to find this right answer that I realized that me wanting to search for these answers is actually something that I love and I enjoy doing, And I can do this through talking on videos, I can do this through committing myself to a craft, because I think that's really beautiful when somebody can commit to some sort of craft. Like recently I've taken up painting, which is something that I've really enjoyed, and I've spent a lot of my life dedicated to soccer and taking care of my body, and these are things, like, that give us this deeper sense of kind of fulfillment. And we need to find like these kind of activities that kind of that speak to us, that make us feel a bit more alive. And it's hard to think, because we think, oh, I don't want any suffering, I want it to feel good all the time. And when I started painting, it was just kind of this random thing that just occurred. I was kind of feeling really bummed out and bad, and I was just kind of looking for a documentary, to kind of uplift me, because I was so sick of feeling so bad and wasting so much time on video games, or just mucking about and eating bad foods and feeling worse about myself. And I randomly just stumbled across The Joy of Painting by Bob Ross, and I watched it, and he was such a happy, like, beautiful person, and I was like shocked, because he was kind of the things that he says, we don't have mistakes, we have happy accidents, which is like such a nice way to kind of look at these things that we can get so stressed about, And nature makes no mistakes. When we think of perfection, we think of like straight lines, this perfect ideal, and it's different for everyone, it's subjective. But I've noticed that through painting like landscapes and that sort of stuff, even though I'm still learning and I'm not quite great at it, but it's something that I've enjoyed. And it makes me look out at nature and see like, wow, this isn't perfect, but it's really beautiful. And I think that's a really good philosophy to kind of bring into life. And it's through trying these different hobbies, trying these new different things, that we kind of pick up all these little, like, simple phrases that seem like kind of like platitudes that you say, overused sayings. I can't remember, I don't know the word for it, it's not coming to my mind. but you know, like these statements that people say that are like cliche. Yeah, that's it, like cliche statements. But there's like a whole like other depth to them if you're like able to experience and accept it. And that's another thing, you know, with this kind of journey that process that I've gone through the past couple of years, trying to find out what I'm going to do with my life. I've sought a lot of self-help kind of work, and that scratched part of an itch, you know. It's very kind of egoic, you know, propping yourself up, gaining confidence in yourself. And these things are very important, you know. You should be able to trust and, you know, have belief in yourself. But, you know, it's not through like a set series of doing things, you know. It's not, there's like a deeper kind of underlying current to it, you know. It's not just having a beautiful woman by your side, having a lot of money, having the great car, because if you have no deeper sense of connection to it, if you have no kind of, you know, feeling with it, then it's worthless, you know. It's just all these kind of things that mean nothing. They're empty and shallow. And for so long, I think for most of my life, I've lived a shallow life. You know, always trying to figure out what I want, but it was always, I could always had this anxiety with me, you know, like what I want to do. And I was kind of like, unconsciously, I was trying to seek acceptance and approval from other people, you know. I was like, I kind of have this idea and I wasn't really confident in it. And then somebody else would say, oh no, maybe you should do this because you'd be better at that. And then I think, oh, maybe I should listen to what they're saying, you know, because it's easier that way, you know. When somebody gives you guidance and direction, it's a lot harder to trust your own experience and to listen to yourself, you know. I find it hard all the time, but me speaking now is me trying to get out of my comfort zone, me putting trust in myself to work things out, you know. Like this video isn't going to come out perfectly. The next several videos aren't going to come out perfectly. But if I kind of stick and commit to the process and I kind of reflect on, you know, what does this mean to me? Is this really important to me? And am I providing value to other people? You know, then through this process, you know, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be great. And, you know, it's going to be, the start is always the hardest, but there's always like these highs and lows. And I guess we just got to kind of ride these waves as best as we can, kind of dance with it rather than like fight with it, you know, trying to get something out of it. I feel like I've quite rambled on for quite a bit in the past videos that I've uploaded that I got rid of because I didn't feel like they were good, or that they were actually expressing what I wanted, you know. Maybe I'll put them back up, maybe I won't. But yeah, I forgot what I was trying to say. Yeah, I just think I rambled on a bit too much, you know. It wasn't quite succinct, but that's basically the idea that I wanted to get out. And I guess I'll just go through the process of refining these ideas by talking more on camera and uploading. And I think it's important to showcase things. You know, we can talk a lot, but I want to show that I'm doing things, show that I'm improving things, because that's also an inspiration, you know. Like, I love content on YouTube that's really deep and insightful and, you know, philosophical. And that's like, you know, that makes you think and that gives you these good ideas. And I think that we can't really take anyone's, what anyone says, but for verbatim, you know, like this is the ultimate truth, because we've got to kind of figure out for ourselves and kind of test these ideas and see what works for us, you know, because we'll all experience it in a different kind of way. And that's kind of like the beauty of life. Anyway, that's the first video out of the way. We'll see how this progresses. Thank you for watching if you did, and see you next time.